Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Caboose bringing you another Marvel's Wolverine video, and today what I got for you guys here is some news that we have been starving for a very long time now. We got some information on whether or not this game is going to be rated M for mature. We have some potential details on when we could get our hands on this game, some gameplay details, some story details. Tons of stuff coming from a trusted insider. Before we get into all this though, if you cannot wait to see what Insomniac is going to do with Marvel's Wolverine, if you're so excited for this game, I need you to scroll down right now and slash that thumbs up button with your Wolverine claws. Let's get this video here to 3,000 likes. And with that being said, let's jump into this. So, you may have remembered in the past that I have brought up a name of an insider known as Jeff Grubb. And Jeff Grubb's pretty good at his job, okay? He's the one who broke the news that EA was publishing an Iron Man game, and that's since been officially revealed, so I trust that this guy has his sources, okay? And Jeff started his podcast today. He was doing it live. It's called Game Mess Mornings, and he talked a little bit about a ton of gaming news going on that he has heard about. Specifically, he dished a lot about Marvel's Wolverine, and the first thing that he had to say about it, which I am so excited to hear, and I know will be a huge sigh of relief for a ton of people out there who are very excited for this Wolverine game, is that it's going to be rated M, and that Insomniac does not plan to hold back with the character, and they're wanting this character to push the limits and even dismember people, and they're going for the hard M rating. Let me just roll the clip for you.
I think an M-rated Wolverine game can work. An M-rated superhero game could work. This is probably the right character. I think one of the cool things about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was, hey, the lightsabers slice the droids in half, and then the bad part was when you go up against stormtroopers, it doesn't do that. I think with Wolverine, though, you put us into an environment where it's like it's going to be those claws are going to work as claws. Yeah, I'm down.
And when he brought up the comparison to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I think that was a little unfair. I mean, we've seen that there's some brutal moments in Star Wars films, but for the most part, they keep it a little lighthearted. The lightsaber duels and the combat with the lightsabers has never been about chopping off limbs and just killing people with it. You know, you only ever just see people get striked or maybe stabbed every once in a while. With Wolverine, though, it's always been about that those claws do some heavy-duty damage, and so I'm glad that Insomniac is aware of that and wants to go for the M rating for that game. But more importantly, I'm glad and have huge respect that Marvel Games wants that as well, and they do not want to hold back whatsoever on this character and its potential in game form. We're always going to look to Logan as the perfect example of what you can do with the character of Wolverine if you're not trying to keep him at bay. And for me, Logan is the greatest comic book movie of all time, so this game very much has the potential already to be my favorite superhero game ever made. But the M rating discussion wasn't even some of the biggest news that Jeff Grubb had to talk about for this game. He also mentioned that Insomniac is eyeing a potential fall 2024 release window.
Maybe the surprising thing for me is that I've heard two different dates. I've heard as early as fall 2024, which would be wild. So this is Insomniac. They're putting out Spider-Man 2 this fall. And then just to follow that up with Wolverine in fall 2024. Now, I've also heard internally they're still very much talking about 2025. So let's not be very surprised if that's, of course, what happens.
That is unreal to me. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 comes out this year. Insomniac has said it's going to drop in the fall. If Wolverine does land that fall 2024 release, that'll be 4 games, AAA, massive games that Insomniac has released in the last 4 years. 5 if you're counting Spider-Man Remastered. These guys are really Insomniacs or something. I can't even believe how talented the developers are at that studio. I mean, when's the last time you ever heard of a massive studio working on that many AAA games that are all of great quality in such a short amount of time? This is unprecedented stuff here. I will say though, Jeff Grubb mentioned, of course, that they might not hit that 2024 fall release and they might push it to 2025. That's completely okay with me. I hope the folks at Insomniac take as much time as they need with this game and with this character. But even still, 2025 is not as far away as you think it is, and it means that we're gonna hear more about this game maybe even this year. I think it's a safe bet to assume that we probably won't hear too much about Marvel's Wolverine until after Spider-Man 2 comes out, as they want to maybe market one Marvel game they're working on at a time. But you never know. Now with these rumors coming from Jeff Grubb, anything is on the table. Jeff Grubb also also mentioned that this Wolverine game is not going to have anything to do with the Fox X-Men universe. It's not even going to try and seem like it in any way. Insomniac, very similarly to what they did with Spider-Man, wants to make this their own unique, original take on the character. And he also heard that apparently within the story of Marvel's Wolverine, it's potentially before he even joins the X-Men. So he's completely on his own. He's rogue right now and hasn't even been introduced to the X-Men, which I think is great because it opens the door, if Insomniac does want to make an X-Men game, to then have him be introduced to that team. I mean, can you imagine the post-credit scene or the ending of the game having something to do with Professor X contacting Wolverine and saying, hey, I got a team, I think you should be a part of it? Come on. I mean, come on. But the last bit of news that Jeff had to talk about in regards to Wolverine is another big one, and it's in regards to the world of the game. People, like myself, are wondering if Marvel's Wolverine is going to be open world similarly to what they did with Marvel's Spider-Man, or if it's going to be a linear game like what they've done with the Ratchet & Clank series. And I think that the folks in Insomniac have found, if the rumors are to be true, a perfect medium, the perfect middle ground for fans of either side of that fence.
The last little tidbit here, it probably won't be full open world. What they're probably going to end up doing is something closer to like open sections of a world,
Sure.
Maybe similar to other modern major Sony games.
And yeah, I'm really, really happy with this news. This is about as good as I could have expected it to be, as good as I could have wanted it to be. A semi-open world akin to something like the God of War games that were recently released by Santa Monica Studio. I think that's fantastic. You know, you have your hub area that you get to freely explore. It's not as big as like Marvel's New York that we get in Spider-Man, but it's pretty big to where there's a lot to check out. And then when it comes to the actual story missions, they're linear structure. That way we get the best of both worlds. For people who want that exploration, who want that freedom, it's available to you in a smaller quantity, but still available to you. And the people who want that linear storytelling style, well, that'll potentially be available when you're following the main path. And again, for those who might not remember, the team that worked on this game did Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. They're very talented people. That ended up being such a good game and a huge bang for your buck. The value there is incredible, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store for us here for Marvel's Wolverine. This game is shaping up to be incredible. I'm so hyped. There's just so much potential with the character of Wolverine, and I'm so glad that the people in Insomniac realize that, and they have that same level of care and passion going into this project that they did with Spider-Man. Because what works so well about Spider-Man is that they cared so much, and that you can feel that when you play the game. It's the same thing that works about the Rocksteady Batman games. When Marvel Games comes up to you and asks you, what game do you want to make from our pantheon of characters, and your immediate choice is Spider-Man, obviously it's because they want to do the character justice. And so when they're the ones who are going to Marvel Games and saying, hey, we kind of want to do Wolverine as well, clearly they have that same drive. And for fans of Wolverine, for fans of this franchise, this must be music to your ears, because it's a hell of a symphony for mine. And with that being said, now I want to kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about all this? Does it get you more hype for Marvel's Wolverine? And what do you think? Is this game going to come out next year, or do you think it's going to be a little bit longer of a wait? I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that thumbs up button. It would show your support, and I would really appreciate it. I've been Caboose, and I'll see you guys later.